Hey there, witch. Catch. I'm joking, of course. Don't worry, guys. I'm cool with the witches. But long time ago, I made a video about how fantasy and firearms usually don't mix in Western popular culture, and I've been thinking about it because in my local Augustine culture, firearms and magic are really tight close together. So reading a lot of Western fantasy, especially playing Dungeons and Dragons, and seeing how divided the fandom is about including gunpowder and firearms, I've been mulling over my head. Why would you exclude such an amazing weapon? But then, after a year of making that video, I realized guns trump magic. Think about it. Magical monsters, magical creatures, magical wizards, they take a lot of energy, a lot of resources to be powerful, big, and dominating. And back in the day, where we humans only had something like a spear to defend ourselves, or a more fantasy common, a sword. This was far more popular, but still, as a human fighter who's trying to defend their kingdom from a dragon with a spear or a sword, the challenge seems insurmountable. But again, to be honest, if you look at medieval manuscripts, how they depict dragons, I think I can take him, even with a spear. But, okay, I'm bragging, but still, they're basically the size of a human, or maybe slightly bigger than a really large crocodile. People have been slaying bigger beasts for a long time. But when firearm comes along, things like dragons or giants or witches and warlocks who would dominate a regular human wielding a sword, a spear, or something other, would be basically in a real disadvantage. Of course, before we had guns, we had things like arrows and crossbows right here. This was one of the first equalizers, but it takes a lot of weight to actually. I'm not gonna. Okay, fine, I'll do it. To actually, push that. Goddamn it! It was loaded, but you get the point. It takes a lot of force. You still need to be strong to load it, to convert your physical force into energy to slay your opponent. But coming up with gunpowder, the black powder, the secret sauce of it all, soon came things like, right here, cannons and early firearms, even as early as 12th century, thanks to our friends from China. This is miniature, of course, but imagine a quite massive thing like this, and you're a dragon, you know? This thing is basically an artificial dragon, a cannon. I'll put it right here. Hopefully it doesn't roll down. No. So, then when you actually have guns to individually wield, the firepower, the energy that the gunpowder creates can pierce through armor, and if it can pierce through armor, probably dragon scale or giant's hide or wizard's magical shield doesn't really stand a chance. So this can be the reason why, with the medieval age, we went to the pike and shot era where knights used guns, and then slowly went out of that magical thinking and magical imagination of early medieval and beyond, were stories about dragons and giants and monsters and ghouls and witches, and slowly went into the modern age. Because, to be honest, especially after the 20th century, nothing the old fantasy world produced, other than world-destroying like cosmic gods and deities and monsters, would challenge a modern human society that has modern firearms, modern tanks, cannons, planes. I'll take a modern fighter jet over any dragon any day. And this is the silly idea I had about firearms and fantasy. No wizard can dodge this.